So the beast incarnate, Brock Lesnar, gets popped at UFC 200 by the USADA for anti-estrogen.
Huh?
Anti-estrogen, isn't that the stuff that they take so you don't turn into a woman? Brock Lesnar was taking hormones so that he doesn't have man titties. That's the big problem here, is he's growing boobs. Could you just imagine Brock Lesnar with a nice pair of D cups or something? Well, now that Brock Lesnar got popped, everybody's wondering, what is UFC going to do and what is WWE going to do to counteract this? Because you know what? That is not cool. You can't do drugs and then get in trouble and then wrestle and fight in the UFC. Well, it turns out the UFC is not going to do anything. They're not going to fine anybody. They're actually going to leave it up to the USADA to actually take care of all the fighting, and that's what Brock Lesnar is going to deal with. Now let's talk about WWE. What is the biggest company wrestling in the world gonna do? They have the huge drug policy. They're gonna deal with this like mature adults would do, right?
Wrong!
WWE is gonna do nothing. Brock Lesnar is not a full-time performer in the WWE. WWE considers the full-time performers wrestling 200 or more days a year. So anybody that wrestles less than 200 days a year is actually not under the WWE drug policy. Wow, Brock Lesnar is gonna have no repercussions for this. He's gonna have to pay a fine at UFC, but not actually at UFC. He's gonna be paying it to the USADA. And Brock probably made a ton of money off the UFC fight. He's making a ton of money in WWE. So this is gonna be like, he's gonna write a check, he's gonna be gone, and he'll just mail the check out to the USADA. Everything's fine. WWE doesn't do anything because, you know what? He's not a full-time performer. Our policy does not matter unless you wrestle full-time. I don't think that's right. I think that anybody that steps in the ring between those ropes has the same policy as everybody. I know what's going on here, and it's happening in UFC and it's happening in WWE. Brock Lesnar is a hot commodity. He is a huge name. And it's not just WWE and UFC to blame here, it's all of sports to blame here. Because if a guy is a high caliber athlete and he's making tons of money, whether it's NFL, they're guilty of it, whether it's baseball, whether if it's wrestling, UFC, whatever it is, they're always guilty of this. They let the high caliber athletes get away with it. Yeah, sure, they have a fine here and there, but does that really affect them? They're making millions of dollars. Do they really get affected by paying a fine? I don't think so. And they just let it slip under the rug here because you know what? Brock Lesnar is going to draw lots of money for WWE at SummerSlam. He's fighting Randy Orton in one of the main event matches. I'm going to put that in quotes, main event matches, because they like to call multiple main events, even though the last match is the main event, but it will be one of the featured ones. You got the Universal title, the WWE title, and the Brock Lesnar match. That's the featured fight. So that's what we're looking at. But honestly, you're not going to see anything happen to Brock Lesnar, and it's sad. Because these athletes need to realize that this is a big deal. They keep getting a pass, and it happens with celebrities, and it happens in mainstream media, and it happens with everybody. If you're a big enough personality, if you're a big enough celebrity, athlete, whatever it may be, you can get away with stuff that the normal public wouldn't get away with. If I was taking drugs and I got caught, I'd go to jail, I'd be on probation, I'd have problems. But normal athletes, high caliber athletes, superstars, wrestlers, entertainers, whatever it may be, they just get fined. They don't even get in trouble. Think of a guy like Snoop Dogg, right?
Smoke weed every day. Smoke weed every day.
He smokes weed all the time. I don't care if you smoke weed, I'm just not gonna smoke weed. That's my opinion. So, Snoop Dogg smokes weed, he goes to places where weed is not legal, and he gets caught, and they don't do anything. They don't care. He could smoke a blunt right in front of a police officer, and nothing would happen to him. Yeah, sure, weed is the least threatening drug out there. Some people say it's a gateway drug. I don't know. I'm not all about the drugs here. I'm not gonna say do this, don't do that. I can't tell you what to do. It's your life. Do it if you want. But you know what? If Snoop Dogg smokes a blunt right in front of a police officer, he doesn't get in trouble. If I went up to a police officer in Nebraska where weed is not legal and I smoked it right in front of a police officer, I'd get handcuffed, I'd get taken to jail, whatever, fined, whatever wants to happen. But a celebrity like Snoop Dogg is going to get away with it. And it's the same case here with Brock Lesnar. Now, I don't think that Brock Lesnar was really shooting up big main drugs. I don't think he was doing the steroids. He might do steroids, but at this point, he didn't do them. They would have caught it. He's doing anti-estrogen. So whatever supplements or whatever he's taking is increasing his estrogen, and he's taking anti-estrogen so that he doesn't grow titties. And you hear this a lot. And you saw it in the movie Fight Club. If you watch the movie Fight Club, you will notice Bob has bitch tits. That's because he was a bodybuilder. He did steroids at one point, and it made his tits huge.
Bob had bitch tits.
You remember that. Big tits. If Brock Lesnar wasn't taking anti-estrogen, he would have huge, massive titties. So that's what's happening here. Brock Lesnar is taking anti-estrogen, got caught. UFC is just going to have the USADA take care of the fines. WWE doesn't give him a fine. He's not a full-time performer. And honestly, I think it's a load of bullcrap. I like Brock Lesnar. I think he's one of the most entertaining to watch. I honestly do. But I will say this. If a guy is doing drugs, if he's doing something that is going to cause problems with the drug policy in any company, whether it's a Fortune 500 company, whether it's working at Walmart, whether it's UFC, MMA, WWE, NBA, whatever it is, if you get caught, you should pay the consequences like everybody else that works for the company. So let's say, right, guy comes in for the Cruiserweight Classic, gets in trouble for drugs. Oh wait, it doesn't matter because he's not a full-time performer and he's not under the drug policy. So do they even drug test the people that come in for the Cruiserweight Classic? I doubt they do. What if they were using PEDs, performance-enhancing drugs, and you wouldn't know because they didn't drug test them because they're not full-time employees? There's a loophole here that WWE needs to reevaluate. If you're gonna have somebody get in trouble for something, you need to have the entire company get in trouble, right? Goes from the janitor all the way up to the main event champion. Even Vince McMahon, right? They need to make sure that everybody's on a level playing field. If they're gonna make it a huge policy in WWE, that's what needs to happen. Anyway, guys, that's my thoughts on this. I love Brock Lesnar. I think he's an awesome entertainer. But again, I think if you're going to have one guy get in trouble for something, you need to have the rest of the locker room fall in line. That's all I'm saying. So now we're going to open it to a little bit of a discussion. Do you think that this should be a policy that everybody follows? Or do you think that Brock Lesnar is an exception? Like I said a number of times over and over, everybody needs to fall in line, in my opinion. Again, like I said, this goes into mainstream media, goes into celebrities. They're bigger than us little guys on the totem pole. I'm just a guy on YouTube who makes videos, talks about things, but you know what? I have to fall in line with everybody else. Celebrities, wrestlers, athletes, they get away with it. Brock Lesnar works part-time in the WWE, so you know what? Let's let him get away with it. He can get away with it, because he can. It's fine. Whatever, he's Brock Lesnar. Anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Do you think this is a policy that needs to be reevaluated in the WWE? Or is this something that's fine? You know what? He doesn't wrestle there that much. Who cares? Let him be. He's fine. He's entertaining. He's a great wrestler. He's a great athlete. He's fun to watch. You know what? He's fun to watch, so let's leave it at that. Brock Lesnar is a fun guy to watch. Anyway, guys, Brock Lesnar trying to not grow some titties, which I still think is hilarious. Brock Lesnar with boobs would be funny, but we'll leave it at that. Let me know what you think about all of this, including just like the mainstream media getting away with it. The mainstream celebrities getting away with being able to do the drugs and not get caught. Anyway, guys, like I said, let me know what you think in the comment section below. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. And as always, TonyPizzaGuy. Bang! Wait, what? I was trying this new outro. I had this idea with the pizza or something. I don't know, Illuminati, pizza guy. I don't know. Anyway,